Welcome. This is brought to you by Metadime Digital Network. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, we are going to be talking about confidence. That's right. And I want to get the perfect banner up here because this is the Coffee Break Show. And I want to talk about today what it is to have and how do you define self-confidence. How do you define that? How do you get that going? How does that grow? Welcome. And we're going to start that conversation in 3, 2, 1 right now. Thank you. If you're new to the Coffee Break Show, we go live Monday through Friday, and we share tips, tools, techniques, inspiration, motivation, and those things that are going to bring you thrivability in your life, thrivability. And what we do here is on Wednesdays, we have guests. If you're new here, do me a favor, though, put your name down below so I can get to know you and we get to know each other and have some fun together. And if you've been here as one of our faithful fans over the years, thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I do have a good morning here. Good morning. I see you all coming on. Do me a favor and put your name down there so that we can see the good morning. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. So today I want to talk about one of the things that you absolutely have to have thrivability, absolutely have to have to create wellness or well-being in your life. And that's self-confidence. How do we get that? How does it grow? What does it do? How do we gain real self-confidence? Because there is a false self-esteem and an authentic self-esteem. And a false self-esteem is very fragile. It can fall apart at any moment. It's where you think something gives you self-esteem and not that you have it or you have self-confidence. You know, I looked online and I wrote it down actually. They said self-confidence is a feeling of trust in one's qualities, abilities, and judgments. Now, that means good morning, Sengar. Nice to see you from North Iraq. Welcome aboard. So glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're joining us today. Thanks for being here. So what happens when we start to gather confidence? Well, there's a couple of things I know. You gain confidence as you live over time. Over time, just in the aging process, you go through the school of hard knocks, you'll get a little self-confidence in your ability to get through things. But then when you starting out and you're looking at situations or relationships or things in your life, your self-confidence is what's going to help you either take the quantum leap up, or if you don't have it, you keep repeating the same patterns over and over again until you have self-confidence. I think there are two kinds of self-confidence, two kinds. The first one is one that you're born with. It's part of who you are. It's an intrinsic piece. And that self-confidence gives you intuition. It gives you information. It says, go apply for this job over here. I know you want that one, but go over here and apply. And you listen in and suddenly it works out for you. It's you at that party saying, you know what? It's dangerous to be here tonight. I don't know why, but it's dangerous to be here. And we follow that. It's almost primordial confidence. It's in animals as well. This primordial confidence is, you always hear about those earthquakes or those floods or those impending disasters that happen. And what they realize is that well before the tornado happened or the earth shook or whatever, all the animals were gone. When all the animals leave the area, that's a type and power of the natural confidence that exists within, I think, everyone. But we discount it. We use our mind when our primordial confidence is saying, get out, go do this, go, get out. It's an inner confidence of believing and trusting the quality of the message that is coming specifically to you at that time. There's those moms, they can be laying in bed, their daughter's at college, and all of a sudden they know that something ain't right. And they pop up and they're like, something's wrong with my daughter. And they can call in the middle of the night to find out that the daughter is crying because her boyfriend broke up with her or something happened. And they're like, Mom, you just happen to feel and know. That's primordial confidence. That's the thing where a mama can get up and look at the baby and know that if she turned that baby, if she was there a minute later, she couldn't breathe. That's primordial confidence. It's being able to trust that ability. That becomes the next wave of creating self-confidence. So that second one is when you create self-confidence. It happens a lot in kids. So for me, I remember for some reason learning to tie my shoe was tough for me. And when I learned it, and I learned how to tie my shoes by myself, I can remember being, 3 or 4 years old. I know exactly where I was when it happened, but there was something that changed in me. Something said, yes, I can. I can learn to do this. I can. And I got a little bit of confidence. And every day I was very proud of tying my shoes. I mean, for, that young years. Hey, everybody's on board. I just want to say, greetings all. Happy Tuesday from Marie Jo. Nice to see you. And Stephen, nice to see you. Good morning. I believe we gain self-confidence as we accomplish things in life. I agree with that. I know that my education has given me knowledge and confidence to love who I am. My journey has been one of true self-confidence or discovering true self-confidence. And that's the difference right there. Confidence will carry you further than anything else. Yes, but sometimes we shut it out and trust our minds instead. Yes, this is the dilemma. Look at this. Sorry. Let's go back up here. Good morning, smart ones. Nice to see you on. Thank you for being here. Jane, it's so good to have you with us. Let's see what's here. My mom was a strong primordial mama instincts. So many powerful stories. Hey, look who's on. Nice to see you, Alanka. Thanks for being with us today. That's nice to see you on. Let's see, beautiful photos of your environment this morning. Well, thank you, whoever sent those beautiful ones. Confidence comes from the wisdom of accomplishment. Yes, confidence comes from failing forward. There's still two types of confidence. There's one that I call primordial confidence. That is the type of confidence that comes with you as you come in here. It's that, something that's talking to you, that inner gut check that's happening where you're like, you get that red flag and the red flag pops up and you're like, something ain't right. Or you get that gut check and you're like, yes, this is the way to go. That's a type of confidence. That confidence is telling you where to go, what to do, and how to be. And if we listen to that confidence, we call it intuition, but it's actually confidence. If we listen to that confidence, it gets us out of the way or right in line or the perfect timing. That's what that inner confidence is meant to do. Then there's a second type, which I call confidence because of abilities. You learn. It's exactly what Scott said right here and what Stephen said earlier. Confidence comes from wisdom of accomplishment. This is the thing about riding a bicycle, isn't it? When you get on the bike at first, you're wobbly, you fall down. Finally, the confidence you find in your balance on the bike. And suddenly you don't need training wheels. You don't need anybody else. And you're just confident getting on the bike. Where in the beginning when you were accomplishing that, getting up and doing it again and again and again, suddenly you're confident on the bike. And you can take the bike anywhere. You're like, yes, I can ride in the city. I can ride in the country. I can ride on the mountain. Then suddenly maybe you get more confident and you're jumping the bike or doing wheelies on the bike or whatever you're doing down there. The more that you do, the more that you accomplish, you get the accomplishment, the self-confidence from the ability. Now, we know a lot of these self-confidence stuff from having abilities. We know that part. We tie the shoe, we feel more confident. This is what I love about learning to play an instrument, especially when you're a kid, learning to play an instrument when you're younger. You don't see yourself as, I made a mistake in the music, therefore I failed. You don't see failure. We tell you from the beginning, as you learn to play an instrument, you get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And so what happens is the more time you practice, the more time you put in, your mind lets go of the story that you're failing in the beginning and you're improving over time. And that's what happens in life. Life is that improving over time. And as you improve over time, the more you accomplish, the more that you get that form of self-confidence, that thing inside you that says, I can learn anything, I can do anything, I can overcome anything. That kind of confidence comes from exactly this part right here. Confidence comes from the wisdom of accomplishment, not the wisdom of perfection, not the wisdom of getting everything right, just accomplishment. You just, accomplish it. The first time you play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on the piano, you sucked at it, but you accomplished it, didn't you? You accomplished playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Then you get back on and you play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star until suddenly you are playing a minuet in D, and you don't know how you got there except that you just keep accomplishing. What we do with our mind, though, is we judge the accomplishment. We start saying, this was a good accomplishment, this was a bad accomplishment, this was a right accomplishment, this wasn't a good enough accomplishment, nobody liked my accomplishment. And because of that, we lose the confidence to continue perfecting our craft, honing our skills, learning what can help us grow and be and accomplish more. Well, I want to tell you this. This is so important to understand because the future is about this. The future is about confidence coming from the wisdom of accomplishment, not getting it perfect the first time. So we take a look at the cell phone. The cell phone, when it 1.0 came out, sucked. And then it turned into a smartphone. And even the first iteration of the smartphone sucked. But now they're pretty rocking good and they can do a lot and they can run your business. You can run your life. You can do everything. You used to just be able to make a phone call on them. So when we take a look at the future, confidence is going to be so important because your journey and my journey, we may be meeting right here, but we have different journeys. And my gut check and what comes to me from the divine, what comes to me may not be the same as you. Mine may say, go live in Maine. And yours may say, go live in Tennessee. You don't know what it is, but you have to trust the information that's coming to you. And I want to talk about this because I think it's so important to understand that the future can look confusing because we're looking outside of ourselves and asking questions. But inside, it may say, okay, I think we should start this business. And you have to understand the difference between your mind and what is coming inside your heart and soul. Most people they think their soul is up here. Your soul's here. Your soul entry is here. This is your entry point right through the heart. That gut check that comes in and says, start this business and go this way. That's for you. It may be different than your friend who thinks, boy, it's crazy to start that business, but it's not for you. It might be the exact perfect thing to do. And the only way to get that business off the ground is to fail forward. I love that wisdom of accomplishment. Me too. Donnie says, good morning. My morning confidence comes from my strong coffees and real cream in the morning. Now you're just being me because you know how long it's been since I've had coffee. And look, I'm still smiling. I don't know how that's happening right now, but I'm still smiling. Oh, how I miss that coffee with real cream. Yes, that does give me confidence to start the day. This is listening. Let's see, look at this. Listening and then not doubting that inner voice is so important. Is this you, Ryan? Who is this? Who is this? Is this Glinda? Who is this? Listening and then not doubting that inner voice is so important. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is a secret, most powerful key that you have right now. It's the doubting piece that creates lack of self-esteem, that doubting piece that comes in. And for some reason we think, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this right, or I shouldn't follow that, or I care what other people say. That doubting thing that can catch you in the butt. You do it because you know how to do it successfully. That's right. Over and over and over again. And Robin says, and when we're kids, we have less judgment on our performance. Yes. We have less judgment on our performance. And that seems to help us. Yes. The not doubting is something we often need to pay attention to. It's always right. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. Is that Linda Sterling? I love you. Mwah. Let's see. Let's go here. Stephen says, I also believe that a great support system gives us true self-confidence. Yes, especially when you're a kid, right? I was blessed with parents who loved me and encouraged me to make mistakes, correct them, and grow. Attending school was also a good experience because I did not permit others to put me down. That's right. So here's the thing. When we're younger, if we have normal parenting, we're encouraged to grow by repetitiveness. So I don't care what sport you play, batting practice or basketball practice or volleyball practice or swim practice. All it was, every time we practice was to help us create our ability confidence. We get better over time doing things. Somehow we get critical as adults and we don't think that. So it sounds interesting to me to be able to go out and do something over and over and over and over and over again and notice the incremental improvements over time. You just notice the incremental improvements over time. It's with business, it's with relationships. Now, here's the thing. We have to be open to transforming and transitioning and becoming better. For some reason, we like status quo and comfort zones after college. I don't know. I don't think I did, but a lot of people like comfort zones and they want everything to be kind of Groundhog Day. So it's familiar, and taking risks becomes tougher. And to me, it becomes tougher because when you take a risk, you are now judging yourself. If you think the risk is easy, I judge I can do it, or I judge I can't. And so the judgment surrounds your ability to pull something off. And I think that the future is not going to be about the abilities you know how to do. It's going to be about your primordial confidence, this confidence here. When you stand in the unknown right now and you're figuring to yourself, I don't know what to do. The first thing you have to do is change that sentence from I don't know what to do to I'm waiting for an answer for you to tell me what to do now. And then you have to believe it. You actually have to believe the information coming in. How does it feel in your gut check? And I don't mean just stand there and go, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's like when your awareness comes up, so does your primordial confidence. It's listening just like the animals do out here. It's listening and it's saying, okay, let's move over here or move out of the way of this disaster, or there's an opportunity over here. I'm going to say yes to this. And then when you do say yes, primordial confidence gives it 100%. You're 100% in. You're not partially in. You're not dipping your toe in to see how it goes. You are fully, completely in. And when you are fully and completely in, it makes you feel aligned. Your mind is aligned, your heart is aligned, and your spirit of you, who you are, is actually completely aligned in that moment. You have that feeling of being in the zone. That in the zone feeling where you're 100% in doesn't mean you have to figure it all out all up front. Sometimes it's figure outable on the way. It's figure outable on the way. And I want to give you an example of that. About 2 years ago, I had several books written and they were all ready to go and everything else. And they all got sucked up into a lawsuit. And I was like, oh my gosh, it froze a lot of the things I was able to do. And I could have been fighting, or waiting. And instead, I was like, okay, these are all caught up. And I thought it was only going to be a couple of few months. So I wrote a couple of books in spite, waiting for these books over here to become out of this suit. Well, it took over 2 years, 2 years. And the timing of it is interesting because they just became released from the suit. The suit was dismissed in my favor. I got everything back and everything else. And all of a sudden I have all of this stuff here. And interestingly, when I wrote it 2 years ago, it's more relevant for right now than it was for 2 years ago. Now, I could argue with the divine timing of it and say, well, that's not fair. That's all, how come this happened? Or I can see the actual thing. Don't release these now. Just wait a little bit. Write these books over here, release these. And now it's time to release these. Now it's time to move these things in there. That divine timing doesn't have to match your mind's thinking. In fact, most of the time, divine timing doesn't match the mind's I want, me, mine, now, because the mind is always wrapped with that ego piece. But here's the thing with confidence. True confidence doesn't have that ego piece. It has a surrender piece. It's willing to surrender with what's happening in the moment, not arguing with it. But if you get to the point where you realize how important that is, you can then maneuver around what's coming, because what's coming isn't going to give you a map of, hey, I think there's speculation from economists and doctors and this and that. But the true confidence of you being able to get through this means that you have to action yourself forward, which is what we're going to be doing, right? And then learning from that and maneuvering by listening inward. I just want to pop over here. You're always going to have failures in life. Yes, just always, part of it. How you step forward after failing is what separates successful people from all the rest. Yes, this is so important, because successful people, even if they judge themselves, because I know I've judged myself, even if they judge themselves, the next thing is, how do I get through this? How do I get over this? How do I get around this? How am I going to transform this? When something happens, it's unexpected, and you're like, this isn't what it was supposed to be in my plan. This isn't how it goes. The successful person will separate themselves from all the rest by looking at how to step forward beyond fast and quick for this. I don't know who sent this. Maybe it's Linda. I don't know. Often we sabotage our accomplishments by questioning them. Not good enough and what people think. Yes, our mind comes on and we don't listen to hear anymore. We listen to our mind, like our mind is the kingpin. Why don't we tell it to shut up for a second, because it interrupted what the conversation that was having here? The difference is this: real primordial confidence doesn't often use words. It doesn't use languaging as its form of communication with you. It's a feeling of knowingness. It's instant knowing. It's like heeding a warning or a premonition, kind of like your body sensates it. But there's not words where somebody says, go turn left right here. You just get the sensation and the knowingness that you're supposed to turn left right here. Are you going to turn the vehicle left, or are you going to go down? Yesterday, Donnie, or day before, Donnie was talking about getting a premonition and hearing that inside him saying, get off the freeway now. And he wasn't driving. So he had to force this person to go over off the ramp and be on top of it. And he missed like this entire 21 or 30 car pile up. I mean, they could have been dead in it. And there are lots of times where we start listening up here. We let this interrupt the conversation that's having here. And if you can transform that, that's how you'll be able to move more confidently through the future. Success is the ability to move from one failure to another without loss of enthusiasm. That is correct. That's correct. It's like, if you can move forward, I see you. God, I love this. Here we go. There's so many of you. It's Linda Sterling. Thank you, my buddy. That's so nice to see you, Linda. I'm so glad you're with us. A car is headed directly at you, and your car at 65 miles per hour, head-on collision is imminent. The inner voice yells at you, be still. The car's moved out of the way seconds before impact. It's confidence listening to the inner self. And that's a true story, by the way. I love this. It's Linda Sterling, best publisher everywhere. You know, I need to catch up with you, and I'm so deadline-y busy right now. And I just want to catch up and say hello and tell you that I miss you and I love you working with you and everything else. Happy you joined us today, Sangar. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's me too. If you guys want a publisher, always look to Linda Sterling. Full stop. Full stop. The only publisher I'll ever promote now. Okay, let's see. The first time I went on the air, I was scared as crap. The next day, less so. It took me 8 months before the pre-show willies dissipated because during that time, I had encountered nearly every hurdle possible while live on air. Once these issues had been surmounted, the aura of I can handle anything problem while people are watching stayed with me to this day. Now problems become humorous, not disastrous. Yes. And I got to say, Scott, I understand this place so much. When I first started going live, I was like, okay, live, if it's live, it's not edited. If it's crazy or there's mistakes or I cough or hiccup or whatever happens. And I want to let you know, Donnie told me the other day, I burped on a show previously. And I remember doing it. I was like, oh God, excuse me. And he edited it out afterwards. But he was like, there you were, just burping in front of people. You have to be willing to handle your authenticity. Scott, I totally get that. The hurdle of going live. I remember the first time I went live, I was so scared. Now I'm like, yeah, here it is. And well, we go. And you just feel confident at handling your humanness. Your humanness. Stephen, what a beautiful realization. I want to read Stephen's realization. Where'd it go, Stephen? Oh, that's the past one. I know he's got another one here. Oh, thank you. This has got to be Linda, primordial confidence. Yes, that's the power of confidence. Thank you. Thanks for sharing the story. The transformation process can be so scary. And though you were always safe, it can feel so threatening. Yes. It's like you feel so threatened. What are they going to do? Make fun of you for a couple of days? Okay. It's weird. When you go live, you're going to take some hits. And when you're on the news show, you're going to take some hits. I mean, it's just, and you have to be willing to take those hits and grow more. That's abilities confidence. You want to use both of those confidence, both abilities confidence and primordial confidence. Here we go. As an educator, I would encourage my students to make a list of all things they liked about themselves and add to that list. As you practice and change, I love me because, yes, I love me because. I like that. I love me because I am willing to take big risks in my life to have growth and adventure. That's really, I love that. Hey, MJ, more often than not, experience tells you what to do and confidence allows you to do it. Oh, I love your stuff, MJ. And this is another one. Confidence allows you to do it. Yes. Confidence allows you to do it. I love this. Oh, great distinction. Love it. Genius as usual. Linda says, that's lovely. Lovely divine timing. Yes, it is, isn't it? It was like, oh my God, I think it's just, they've just been out literally maybe 2 weeks or so. I haven't even been through all of them, but interesting how long it took. Really long time. I was just typing that Linda, LOL, that hashtag the truth of primordial confidence has the back of my neck tingling. Well, that's good because that's what primordial confidence is. There is a confidence. I don't know. I think I'm not sure about this. It's just my hypothesis, but I think it's maybe primordial confidence as part of that reptilian brain. It's the thing that, sees something far away and says, oh, it's time to get out of the way of this. There's primordial confidence has more to do with trusting yourself, trusting the information that's coming in and surrendering to that divine timing or that divine will. Because sometimes the divine will, we get our attachments. We become attached to the thing so much, and it says, get off the freeway. But no, it's not my ramp. I shouldn't get off the freeway now. Get off the freeway. But if I do, I'll be late. Get off the freeway. When can you just say, it said get off the freeway, and you get off the freeway? It's the same thing. The thing I think about primordial confidence, though, is the more you engage with it, the more you listen to it, the more it will guide your life. to the point where you literally do not have to wonder or literally think about anything. You don't have to think of what to do. You listen to what to do. Then your thinking is like, do I have my jacket? Do I have my coat? Do I have my keys? Or how many of these do I need? Add these numbers up. Read this book. The brain can be involved, but it's not primary. It's secondary. It's a tool. Your brain is a tool that helps you calculate or read or use depth perception or things like that. That's the main function of that piece of it. But that primordial piece of it, I believe that's where your purpose is. And you surrender to that purpose, it'll show itself to you. Purpose isn't something you find. Purpose is something that you let out of yourself. You let it out. You don't go looking for it. It's in here. You're purposeful. You have more than one purpose. And confidence allows you to use that purpose in the moment. Let's see. Those with higher self-confidence are more likely to listen to that primordial or inner self. Yes, that is correct. What I love about Vickie Helm, I love these kind of things. What I love about Vickie Helm is she has true confidence with grace, integrity, and love. Man, Stephen, you just know what to say to a girl, don't you? That's good. Thank you. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment coming from you, my friend. Okay, let's see. The irony of the lawsuit is that you will have, far greater success due to the timing change. I know. Isn't that interesting? It's like, what if the universe is always conspiring for you in spite of what you think? What if what if the timing is always right? What if it is always doing that for you instead of what you think? That's a big one for me. And when that happened, that was a big one for me because I'm a bit of a control freak, right? I like things to go, here's my list to do. I'm going to check it off as I go. Things are going to go exactly as according as I plan them. And then when you start out, you realize that that never happens. I've never had a business plan start out exactly how I thought it was going to go and exactly step by step. It never did that. There's always a twist and a turn and an uphill battle or a downward things went easier than I thought. But if you can be present with those things and feel confidence in those things, you can be present in the moment and know and enjoy, even when some things are not so fun. Like last week we talked about my dog being kidnapped, and that wasn't a fun experience for me. And finding her was another big deal. But listening to that piece of confidence tell me where my dog was, and I don't know. It's one of the shows last week where it says it's the weirdest 24 hours of my life. And if you look at that, you can see that primordial confidence is so deep, it will give you a premonition dream. It will tell you where something is. It is the part of the healership that exists in people. And knowing that divinity of them can come out to play in every part of the day because we are that divine. We came and were created from that confidence. So the reason I'm saying this is because the future is so uncertain that I believe the number one skill you're going to need to walk through this is that primordial confidence. Not just confidence and abilities, but making those confidence, those two types. Here's the confidence grown from growing abilities. And here's the confidence that I am, that I'm listening to, that I trust comes through me, that I listen for. And you have to listen all the way, because I know this about me. I just know this about me. I know if my primordial confidence comes up and says, let's go left, my brain will come on and now say, well, these are the reasons we should go left. And my brain is going on, and I didn't listen to the whole message. I didn't listen to the whole message. You have to stop and let the whole message come through, which means listening inwardly isn't listening to the words in your head. Listening inwardly. So remember, we talked about that primordial confidence. It doesn't use words. It's not using words like we're using right now. It sensates. It has knowingness, instant knowingness. You have to connect with that instant knowingness and say, I recognize that, and then continue to listen. It may tell you to do that. Now, I don't do this perfectly. I certainly don't, I have a higher batting average because I practice that. But, I don't have a perfect, batting average at it. But I will tell you, every time that I listen to it, every time that I feel that way with someone, every time I work in the world with someone, I try to see, can you listen to your primordial confidence? Because if you can't, I don't really want you. You can see all the data coming. Here's all the data coming: floods, famine, pestilence, illness, pandemic, government, politics, corruption. You can see it all waving at you. But what is your inside telling you to do? And maybe you have to wait longer. Maybe you have to be quieter. Maybe you have to even ask. Ask that part of you. Hello, what do we do next? What's our next best move? And expect a reply. Don't say, I don't know what to do, because your brain will cooperate. We don't know what to do. And then you're lost. What's my next best step? What would you ask of me to do right now? Where do you want me to be? Who do you want me to serve? Those questions, when you ask and you listen, those opportunities will be right in front of you over and over and over again. And that's having confidence in your life. So how would you define confidence? There's primordial confidence, and then there's the abilities confidence. Abilities are, the more you learn, the more you fail forward. It's like playing the piano. You do it over and over again and hone your craft and skills, and you get more confidence at it. Primordial confidence is the thing that's going to lead you through your life into the next step right now. It's that quiet knowingness, that quiet inner beingness that you are. I'm going to go pop over here right fast because you guys are talking a mile a minute. Let's see. Okay. Evidently, the July 14th episode was one where the dog was kidnapped. Tomorrow, Recalibrate CEO Cheryl Mobley is going to be on the Coffee Break Show guest, and she will share her expertise in helping others be in the 99th percentile in all aspects of their life. It's going to be a powerful show. I can't even wait for this. This is so over the top. It's like we need to be and complete that part of ourselves as we move forward. I am looking forward to this conversation. One thing that I noticed as a professor was students who did not have self-confidence, and those who had damaging ego, and those that had hidden treasures that I was there to unlock. That's right. That is what teachers do. And that's like a sacred job right there. It's such a sacred job. Thank you for pulling the date, Robin. Thank you. Again, I'm looking forward to meeting Cheryl Mobley. That sounds like a timely topic. Can't wait. And somebody is saying hello from New Zealand. I'm not sure. Is this Awina? I'm not sure who it is, but good morning in New Zealand. So glad you joined us today. We've gone from Iraq to Canada to the UK to New Zealand this morning. Let's see, Stephen, it's a gift to see and acknowledge people as they are. Yes, it is. And then love them. That's right. Encourage them and lift them up to grow. I like that too. Here we go. Primordial confidence is the aspect of yourself that you need to begin to trust, especially in these times of uncertainty. Yes, that's very true. Confidence and esteem is a seed. A seed needs sun and nurturing to grow. Be your own sun. Love that. Thank you. Let's see. It's Carrie Bramley. I'm so glad you joined us. That must be Carrie who said that. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. So I want to let you know that as we go out into the universe, all we need to do is use a little more confidence. And I will see you guys tomorrow where we're going to have Cheryl Mobley on. All right, you guys. Peace out. Mwah. See you later. Bye.